Ladies and gentlemen, dear hearts gathered here today, let us embark on a journey, a tender, winding exploration of the human heart, its yearnings, its silences, and its inevitable pull toward connection. The topic before us, why men return after no contact, is not merely a question of behavior or strategy. No, it is a doorway into the raw, pulsing truths of what it means to love, to lose, and to find our way back to one another. It is a story of courage, vulnerability, and the quiet forces that draw us together even when we've chosen to walk apart. So settle in, open your hearts, and let's unravel this mystery together, layer by layer, with honesty and grace. To begin, let's name the space we're stepping into. The no contact period. It's a term that carries weight, doesn't it? It's not just a pause or a break. It's a deliberate choice to step back, to create distance, to silence the noise of a relationship that has grown heavy or unclear. For many, no contact is an act of self-preservation, a way to reclaim clarity, to rebuild strength, or to honor one's own boundaries. It's a boundary drawn in the sand, not out of malice, but out of necessity. A way to say, I need to find myself again. And yet, in this silence, something curious happens. Men, often to the surprise of those who initiated the distance, return. Why? What stirs in the quiet? What brings them back? Let's start by acknowledging that men, like all of us, are complex beings. They are not monolithic creatures driven by singular motives. They are shaped by their experiences, their fears, their desires, and the stories they tell themselves about who they are and what they deserve. When no contact is initiated, it disrupts the rhythm of a relationship. It's like pulling the plug on a song mid-note, sudden, jarring, incomplete. For a man, this silence can be a mirror, reflecting back questions he may not have faced in the noise of connection. Who am I without this person? What did I lose? What do I truly want? One reason men return is the power of absence. Absence is not just emptiness. It's a presence all its own. It's the space where longing takes root, where the mind begins to wander back to moments of joy, of intimacy, of shared laughter. In the no content period, a man may start to feel the weight of what's missing, the coffee mug left on the counter, the inside jokes, the warmth of a hand held. These small sacred things become vivid in their absence. It's not that he didn't notice them before, but in the silence, they grow louder, more insistent. They call to him, and he begins to wonder if he let something precious slip through his fingers. But let's go deeper. The return is not always about nostalgia or sentimentality. Sometimes it's about confronting the self. No contact forces a man to sit with himself, to face the parts of his heart he may have ignored. In relationships, we often lean on our partners to fill gaps, emotional, psychological, even spiritual. When that support is gone, the gaps become glaring. A man might realize he relied on his partner for validation, for purpose, for a sense of home. In the silence, he's left to ask, can I stand on my own? And if the answer is shaky, he may return, not just to reclaim the relationship, but to reclaim a part of himself he fears he's lost. Now, let's talk about fear. Fear is a quiet driver, isn't it? It hides beneath bravado, beneath indifference, beneath the stories we tell ourselves about moving on. For some men, no contact stirs a primal fear of loss, not just the loss of a person, but the loss of possibility, the what could have been. This fear can be a slow burn, creeping in during late night moments when the world is quiet and the heart speaks loudest. He may wonder if he made a mistake, if he walked away too soon, if someone else will step into the space he left behind. This fear, though uncomfortable, can be a catalyst, pushing him to reach out, to bridge the gap, to say, I'm still here. But let's not romanticize this. Not every return is noble or heartfelt. Some men return out of ego, out of a need to reclaim control or certainty. No contact can feel like a challenge, a test of their influence. If a man perceives the silence as a rejection, his return might be an attempt to reassert his presence, to prove he still matters. This isn't love, it's a shadow of insecurity. And yet, even in this, there's a flicker of humanity, a need to be seen, to be valued. The difference lies in intention, and that's where discernment comes in. A return rooted in ego seeks to take. A return rooted in love seeks to give. Let's pause here to honor the women in this equation. The no content period is not just a test for the man, it's a crucible for the woman who chose it. It takes immense courage to step back, to trust that silence will serve you, to hold space for your own healing. You are not a puppet master pulling strings. You are a warrior claiming your worth. And when a man returns, it's not a validation of your strategy. It's a reflection of the space you've created, a space so powerful it echoes even in its stillness. Your strength, your clarity, your boundaries, they ripple outward and they matter. Now, let's consider the role of time. Time is a strange and beautiful thing, isn't it? In the no contact period, time stretches and contracts, bending our perceptions. For a man, time apart can act like a lens, sharpening his focus on what truly matters. The petty arguments, the misunderstandings, the distractions, they fade, and what remains are the core truths of the relationship. He may realize that the connection was deeper than he acknowledged, that the love was worth fighting for. Time doesn't erase the past, but it can reframe it, giving him the clarity to return with a renewed sense of purpose. Another factor is growth. No contact is not just a pause, it's an opportunity for transformation. In the silence, a man may confront his shortcomings, his failure to communicate, his fear of vulnerability, his tendency to prioritize pride over connection. If he's willing to do the work to look inward, he may emerge different, softer, more intentional. His return then is not a step backward, but a step forward, a gesture of accountability. He's not just returning to you, he's returning to a better version of himself, one that's ready to show up fully. Let's talk about love, because at its core, this is a story of love. Love is not a straight line, it's a spiral, looping back on itself, deepening with each turn. When a man returns after no contact, it's often because love is misunderstood. Messy, imperfect, resilient, refuses to be silenced. Love doesn't vanish in the absence of words or touch. It lingers, it whispers, it waits. His return is a testament to that persistence, a reminder that love is not just a feeling, but a choice, one he's making anew. But let's be real. Not every return is a fairy tale. Some men return out of loneliness, out of convenience, out of a fleeting impulse. This is where your wisdom comes in. Your ability to see the difference between a return that honors you and one that diminishes you. A true return is not just about showing up. It's about showing up with intention, with humility, with a willingness to meet you where you are. It's not enough for him to knock on the door. He needs to bring something real to the table. Let's explore the idea of closure. For some men, no contact leaves questions unanswered, threads untied. The silence can feel like an open wound, and their return is an attempt to find resolution. This doesn't always mean reconciliation. Sometimes it's about saying the things left unsaid, about honoring what was, even if it can't be again. This kind of return requires courage because it's not about winning or losing. It's about truth, even when it's painful, is a gift. Now, let's consider the power of independence. When you initiate no contact, you're not just creating space, you're reclaiming your autonomy. You're saying, I am whole on my own. This shift is magnetic. A man may return because he sees you standing tall, radiating strength, living your life unapologetically. Your independence is not a threat, it's an invitation, a reminder that love is not about need, but about choice. He returns because he wants to choose you, not because he has to. Let's talk about regret. Regret is a heavy word, but it's a real one. In the no contact period, a man may come face to face with the choices he made or didn't make, the words he didn't say, the efforts he didn't put in, the moments he took for granted. Regret can be a teacher, guiding him to see where he fell short and what he's willing to do differently. His return then is an act of redemption, a way to say, I see now and I want to make it right. But let's not ignore the role of curiosity. Humans are curious creatures, aren't they? No contact can spark a man's curiosity about who you've become in his absence. Are you thriving? Have you moved on? Have you changed? This curiosity can pull him back, not out of love or regret, but out of a desire to know. And while curiosity alone isn't enough to sustain a connection, it can be the spark that opens the door to something deeper. Let's reflect on the idea of timing. Life has its own rhythm, doesn't it? Sometimes a man returns because the timing has shifted. In the no contact period, he may have faced his own challenges, grown in his own way, or simply come to a place where he's ready to reconnect. The silence gave him the space to align with his truth, and his return is a reflection of that alignment. It's not always about you. Sometimes it's about him finally catching up to himself. Another piece of this puzzle is vulnerability. Vulnerability is not weakness. It's the birthplace of connection. For some men, no contact strips away the armor, forcing them to face their own softness. In the silence, they may realize how much they held back, how much they hid. Their return is an act of bravery, a willingness to show up unguarded, to say, here I am, flaws and all. This kind of return is rare and precious because it's rooted in authenticity. Let's talk about the pull of familiarity. Humans are drawn to what's known, what's comfortable. In the no contact period, a man may find himself craving the familiarity of your presence, your voice, your essence. This isn't always about love. Sometimes it's about the human need for anchor points in a chaotic world. His return may be an attempt to reclaim that anchor, to find stability in the midst of change. But let's be clear, a return is not a guarantee. It's not a promise of forever or a fix for what was broken. It's a moment, a choice, a conversation. What happens next depends on both of you, on your willingness to listen, to speak, to rebuild. A return is an opportunity, but it's not the destination. It's a chance to ask, what do we want? What do we deserve? What are we willing to create together? Let's explore the idea of self-discovery. No contact is a mirror for both parties. For a man, it's a chance to see himself clearly, his strengths, his weaknesses, his desires. If he returns, it may be because he's discovered something new about himself, something he wants to share with you. This kind of return is not about filling a void. It's about bringing something whole to the table, something that complements your own wholeness. Now, let's talk about hope. Hope is a quiet force, isn't it? It's the belief that things can be better, that love can endure, that mistakes can be mended. For some men, no contact rekindles hope. They see the possibility of a different future, one where the pain of the past is not the final word. Their return is an act of hope, a leap of faith that says, maybe we can try again. But let's not shy away from the hard truth. Not every return is meant to last. Some men return only to leave again, to test the waters, to ease their own guilt. This is where your strength comes in. Your ability to hold your boundaries, to say, I am worthy of more. A return is not a verdict on your worth. It's a reflection of his journey. Your job is to discern what serves you, what honors you, what aligns with your truth. Let's consider the role of communication. So much of what goes wrong in relationships comes down to what's unsaid, doesn't it? No contact can be a wake-up call, a reminder of the importance of speaking up, of being clear, of being real. A man may return because he realizes he didn't say enough, didn't listen enough, didn't show up enough. His return is a chance to communicate differently, to build something stronger. Let's talk about the power of space. Space is not just absence, it's possibility. In the no contact period, space allows for reflection, for healing, for growth. A man may return because the space you created gave him room to see you anew, to appreciate you in a way he couldn't before. Space is not a weapon, it's a gift, one that can transform both of you. Another factor is the human need for connection. We are wired for it, aren't we? No contact can highlight how much a man misses that connection, not just with you, but with the part of himself that came alive in your presence. His return may be an attempt to reclaim that spark, to feel whole again. This doesn't mean he's entitled to it. It just means he's human. Let's reflect on the idea of change. Change is the only constant, isn't it? In the no content period, both of you are changing, evolving, becoming. A man may return because he senses that change, because he wants to know the person you're becoming, because he wants to share the person he's becoming. His return is a bridge between who you were and who you're meant to be. But let's not forget about pride. Pride can keep a man away, but it can also bring him back. In the silence, pride may crumble, giving way to humility. He may realize that holding on to his ego is less important than holding on to you. His return then is an act of surrender, a willingness to let go of being right in favor of being real. Let's talk about the role of memory. Memories are powerful, aren't they? In the no contact period, a man may find himself replaying moments, good, bad, and everything in between. These memories can act like a compass, guiding him back to you. They remind him of what was, and they spark a desire to create what could be. Another piece of this is the idea of unfinished business. Relationships rarely end cleanly, do they? There are always loose ends, unanswered questions, unresolved feelings. No contact can amplify this sense of incompletion, prompting a man to return in search of resolution. This doesn't always mean a reunion. Sometimes it's about finding peace. Let's explore the concept of trust. Trust is fragile, isn't it? No contact can be a test of trust, not just in each other, but in yourselves. A man may return because he trusts that the connection you shared was real, that it's worth fighting for. His return is an act of faith, a belief that trust can be rebuilt even after it's been shaken. Now, let's talk about the power of choice. Every return is a choice, a deliberate step toward reconnection. It's not enough for a man to show up. He has to choose to stay, to work, to grow. And you too have a choice to open the door or to keep it closed, to engage or to walk away. A return is not a mandate, it's an invitation, one you get to accept or decline. Let's reflect on the idea of healing. No contact is a space for healing for both of you. A man may return because he's done some of that work, because he's ready to meet you in a healthier, more grounded place. His return is not a demand for you to fix him. It's an offering of his own progress, a hope that you can heal together. But let's be honest, not every return is about you. Sometimes A man returns because of his own needs, his own voids, his own story. This doesn't make him a villain, it makes him human. Your task is to see clearly, to ask, is this about me or is this about him? A return that's truly about you will feel different. It will honor you. It will see you. It will lift you up. Let's talk about the role of patience. Patience is not just waiting. It's trusting the process. No contact requires patience, and so does a return. A man may come back, but he may not have all the answers, all the clarity, all the pieces in place. Patience doesn't mean lowering your standards. It means giving space for truth to unfold, for intentions to become clear. Another factor is the power of authenticity. In the no contact period, masks fall away. A man may return because he's tired of pretending, tired of hiding, tired of running. His return is a step toward authenticity, a desire to show up as his true self. This is where real connection begins, not in perfection, but in honesty. Let's explore the idea of forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about erasing the past. It's about making peace with it. A man may return because he's seeking forgiveness for his mistakes, his absence, his silence. But forgiveness is a two-way street. His return is also an opportunity for you to forgive yourself, to release any guilt or doubt you've carried. Now, let's talk about the power of presence. Presence is the antidote to absence, isn't it? When a man returns, he's choosing to be present, to show up in a way he may not have before. But presence is not just physical, it's emotional, spiritual, intentional. A true return is about being here, fully, with no agenda other than connection. Let's reflect on the idea of worth. You are worthy of love, of respect, of a relationship that honors you. No contact is a declaration of that worth, and a return is a response to it. But not every return is worthy of you. Your heart is a sacred space, and you get to decide who enters, who stays, who goes. A man's return is not a verdict on your value. It's a moment to reaffirm it. Another piece of this is the role of courage. It takes courage to return, to face the unknown, to risk rejection. A man who comes back is stepping into that courage, even if it's imperfect, even if it's messy. But courage is not enough. It must be paired with accountability, with effort, with love. His return is a starting point, not a finish line. Let's talk about the power of story. We all live by stories. The ones we tell ourselves, the ones we inherit, the ones we create. In the no contact period, a man may rewrite his story, reframe his understanding of the relationship. His return is a new chapter, one that invites you to co-author. But you get to decide if the story aligns with your own, if it's one you want to tell. But let's not ignore the possibility of closure. Not every return is about restarting. Some are about ending well. A man may come back to say goodbye, to honor what was, to release what can't be. This is not failure, it's grace. It's a reminder that love, even when it changes form, leaves a mark that matters. Let's explore the idea of resilience. Love is resilient, isn't it? It bends, it breaks, it mends. A man's return is a testament to that resilience, a belief that what you shared can withstand the silence, the distance, the pain. But resilience is not just about him. It's about you, about your capacity to love, to heal, to rise. Now, let's talk about the power of choice. Again, because it's worth repeating, a return is a choice, but so is your response. You are not obligated to open the door, to forgive, to try again. You are free to choose what serves you, what aligns with your heart, what feels true. A man's return is an invitation but you are the one who writes the next chapter. Let's reflect on the idea of growth again, because it's the heart of this. No contact is a crucible for growth for both of you. A man may return because he's grown, because he's ready to meet you in a new way, but growth is not a one-way street. You've grown too, and his return is a chance to honor that, to show up as the person you've become. But let's be real. Not every return is a victory. Some are fleeting, some are false, some are a step backward. This is where your discernment comes in, your ability to see beyond the moment, to ask, is this real? Is this lasting? Is this mine? A return is not a trophy. It's a question, one you get to answer with your whole heart. Let's talk about the power of love, again, because it's the thread that ties this all together. Love is why men return, why you chose no contact, why we're here wrestling with these questions. Love is not a destination. It's a journey, one that requires courage, honesty, and grace. A man's return is a step on that journey, but it's not the whole story. The story is yours to write, yours to live, yours to love. So, dear hearts, as we close, let's hold this truth. A man's return after no contact is not the end of the story, but a moment in it. It's a moment to pause, to reflect, to choose. It's a moment to honor your worth, your strength, your heart. Whether he returns out of love, regret, fear, or hope, the real question is not why he came back, but what you do next. You are the author of your life, the keeper of your heart, the one who decides what stays and what goes. So step into that power, embrace that truth, and let love, real, honest, resilient love, guide your way. Thank you for walking this path with me, for holding space for these truths, for daring to love with your whole heart. May you find clarity, may you find peace, and may you always know your worth.